Me and B always have like the best conversations that just flow and flow and flow. And like, honestly, sometimes we can't stop. So I'm Krissi, this is B. B was a student of mine, but now I would say you're a good friend of mine now.
Yeah,
And
I'm very much still a student of Krissi, like, just the reason we're here now.
you know, I have to say like teacher, student, you know, I think we'll come back to the hair thing in a minute, but when I was in Bombay and I was doing the training with Prashant,
Mhm.
oops. But one of the things that I brought up to him was I was struggling with this term teacher, yoga teacher, because it holds such a title. And in today's society, you're seeing everybody just popping up the certificates, you know. But to actually be a teacher, it's a lifelong journey. And he drilled something into me. It was like that said, you have a responsibility, and you have got a title, so be proud of it, you know. And yeah, how can we shift around this yoga word and this yoga teacher title? So I've started to say that I'm an educator, which suits me better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
feels right for you. So I think I
yeah,
always used to be like, you're my guru, like, and it does feel like, again, teacher, guru, whatever you want to call it, it's someone that is, you're reflecting back me. It's like, I guess as a student, it's just a safe space for me to find the teacher and the guru within myself.
yeah. And
Um,
even that word guru as well. Like I remember when I first started to talk about Stuart as my guru, and the first few times felt weird, you know, was like, what's this? Like guru, because it's like a pedestal
mm,
title. And I even remember, I think I tagged Stuart in something once and I put Guruji or something. And I felt so awkward because he didn't respond to it, and he never responded to that guru. And you know how he is, you know, he's very much like the fuck kind of. But then I started to understand this word G, and G meaning respect. So putting that on the end of everybody's name like started to suit me better. But if we do have somebody like now, I am not afraid to say Stuart is my guru, because he is the one teacher that lit up a whole new path and made me see the mirror, you know, made me see that reflection. And it was the first teacher in London or anywhere that really ripped me open. Yeah, so guru, teacher.
yeah, the word guru means remover of darkness. We know that. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's the one that can illuminate the guru within you. Obviously, when we kind of stumble across these people, or we find these people, we can't see that part of ourselves yet.
yeah,
We know, as obviously we're on this journey, we're on this path, we have people that kind of look up to us as well now, and it's kind of like, I don't have the answers for you. I don't know. This is, you know, the path I'm going down. This is what works for me. I don't know really if that's going to work for you. I can't do the work for you. So
yeah,
like
yeah.
teacher, again, we can educate, we can hold a safe space, but it's down to the student to take responsibility. And that's what I really like about yoga, right? Is actually like take responsibility for your own stuff, right?
Yeah.
I can teach this stuff that I've learned and share my experiences with you, but you need to do the thing. That's what I
And
really
also, I do think guru as well. I think guru can show up in the form of friendships, and also a big one, which I think everyone can relate to as well, is relationships. And I think I don't like to call people out like red flags and green flags and all of this, but if something that does not sit right for me, if I meet somebody, for example, is if they talk about an ex-partner or something or somebody in a really negative way. Because regardless, like we say, at the end of the day, if the goal is just to experience, then we're winning, right? It's just experience. So regardless of what somebody brought to you and what experience you had, if you do not have the ability to move away and say thank you for the lessons, even though maybe it was a toxic place that we was both at or whatever, if you do not have that ability to step away, then it just means that you're not ready to see yourself in that person. And yeah, I think one of the biggest things, especially around friendships and relationships, is being able to identify that within every friendship and every relationship, there's also a guru as well. And I do see a bit of more of a shift happening around those conversations, though. Like, I do think more people are opening up to accepting that maybe there was a teacher in their past lovers or relationships, but the ones that I am really cautious of are the ones that really talk negatively about past relationships. Like,
Yeah,
hold on a
and
minute.
it's so what you're saying there is everybody is a guru if you can see them in that way, you know, and that's beautiful, really, when we kind of go into things and it's not really about the other person, it's what they're showing us in ourselves. And until you're willing to look at it, you're gonna keep doing the same loops, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we are teachers, we are students, we are seekers, we are whatever we are. We're a bit of everything. But mostly I think one of the proudest things about yoga is that we're open-minded, you know. People have called me crazy for a long time, especially with my hippie days. And then I saw something recently, it was just a meme on social media that said, if you're fearing something about, if you're fearing the crazy, you're fearing the inability to be open-minded, because whoever's crazy can just see more, you know. And I was like, thank you for that, because for a long time I was questioning, what's this crazy? Like, what does crazy
what do you think? What do you think people think is crazy?
I think because maybe of my backpacking lifestyle and being solo and here, there, and everywhere, but also like I can be on like a personal level, just going on to like my personal level now, is people will either see one side of me or the opposite. They will see the very hard working discipline side of me, which will come across very boring. And it's like, because it's like, no, I'm not coming out or whatever, because I've got practice in the morning or whatever. But the opposite side of that is fun, but also very dangerous, because I will call you out, and I'm very direct. So, you know, people will only see one or the other. And then because they're only seeing one or the other, there's this middle line that's like crazy.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and it didn't align with me for a long time, and it pissed me off. But now I'm very glad to be crazy, because I saw this meme. Thank God for social media sometimes.
Yeah, and I think like, if you were just one of those things, that would there are many parts to making a human. Okay, so you have this part of you that is, yeah, it's boring, but of course the discipline part is what allows you then to have fun in the other part.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you want the thing of, like, you know, we don't practice yoga to stay on the mat. We practice yoga so that we can go and stay present in our lives and actually spread love. Right. That's the whole point.
Yes. And also, like, if you you know, one of my favorite quotes, and it's from Osho, is the word holy. We know what the word holy means. It comes from the word whole. So if we cannot be disciplined, then can we fully be present later on when we do go out and when we do want to go, you know, have fun, or we do want to experience new things?
That was something I really took away from the time where so Krissi and I, for those of you that don't know, worked together very closely for 3 months. And I remember this when I got home from the last trip that I just went on. You know, I love mini eggs. Like, I've got a thing about
oh yes.
Yeah, and I'm like, do you know what? I don't eat them every day. I don't. But if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it wholly. I'm going to enjoy I'm going to do this and own it, and like experience this thing that, again, I don't do it so often. I don't eat in that way. My eating has really changed lately, but I enjoyed that because I was fully present with it. I wasn't telling myself I'm not allowed or it's not okay. Like, I'm a human, and sometimes, you know, the experience of a mini egg is actually like, if you can be in it, amazing.
Yeah. I do think I have like rephrased this a little bit in my life, tiny bit,
Yeah.
because I noticed that I was bypassing. So I was using that phrase all of the time to self-indulge. So it's like, no,
Mm.
I'm just gonna enjoy it, or
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, and I realized that actually my physical body was telling me that this is no longer good for me.
Mm.
And I had to really put a strong boundary with some of my really bad habits.
Mhm.
But if we do have, again, that's where the discipline comes in, to enjoy. That doesn't mean that if you're going out drinking or smoking or whatever, you can just use it and be like, oh yeah, I'm being holy because I'm fully present all the time,
Mhm.
because then you've not got any discipline.
Mm.
So
It's awareness.
every,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's
so
aware that every choice you make is going to have a, you know, a reaction in a certain way. So, you know, the majority of the time we are choosing love. Love in that moment for me was like, own it and eat these mini eggs and like enjoy it, and then just know that I'll get back to kind of usual practice and things.
and we
Straight
was talking about your reaction to sugar as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and then again, we can definitely do an episode where we talk more about the doshas and stuff. But for me, sugar is something that really affects my the kappa imbalance. I think the sugar aggravates it like crazy.
Really? And do you become addicted to it?
I mean, yes, it's definitely something that I can be more. So I've recognized that in myself. So I have a lot less, but I really don't eat processed sugar anymore. But I used to it a little bit.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think me and Lala, you might have seen Lala.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Lala is one of my private students. Hi, Lala! Shout out to little Lala. And we was talking about sugar, and because during one of our sessions we was craving sugar, and actually it was when I was in Madagascar, and it was so freaking hot, and you was in Mauritius,
Yeah.
and uh, I also had a very strong craving for Coca-Cola, like.
Mm.
And I noticed that this does happen to me when I'm in hot countries. Like I'll have a strong craving for specifically full, like, is it full fat Coke? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Just the original Coke. And I think sometimes when we are leading, or we, you know, somebody's paying us for a service, there's not, some people, as you know, we have to be on this pedestal, which I completely disagree with. Like, we have to be human. So I said to Lala, she was like, I'm craving sugar, I don't know what to do. And I literally just got the bottle and I was like, I'm literally drinking full fat Coke right
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
And I read a post by Adele Bridge. Do you know Adele Bridge?
Oh, no.
She's doing a lot of yoga and a lot of training around hypermobility, which is she's really good. And she actually posted just like maybe a day before Lala said that, which is crazy. It's always in alignment. About if you're craving sugar, then maybe it's your muscles. Actually, is something about muscle repairing, which I really, you know, I really did align with, because I do think we have to be cautious around conversations around food and triggering, and we can really limit ourselves. But if your body is telling you, okay, I'm having this craving, then one, if we look at the doshas and Ayurveda, then it could be an imbalance. Because remember, an imbalance is not, oh, I have one craving. It's an excess of. So if you have an excess amount of sugar, or if you have an excess amount of craving for salt, then it's an imbalance. It's not an imbalance if you just have a one-time craving. And I do think a lot of new students and a lot of new people on the journey take it too seriously, that they can end up injuring themselves, and that becomes a hindrance. So yeah,
Again,
interesting.
like there's the word balance again, isn't it? And I know for me, and I don't know about your past history with food, but I've definitely, it was never like said it was an eating disorder, but I've definitely had disordered eating behaviors kind of like way back when. So kind of coming into this space where you come into more, when you're on this kind of yoga path, it does get you to ask questions that can be triggering, right? And it can bring some things up. most of us in the West have never learned how to actually listen to what our bodies need, right? So
Yeah.
what I really love about the practice of yoga is it's actually like, you know, I can eat all of these things, but what is my body talking to me? How is my body talking to me? What does it actually want? And when you start listening, and I say learning the body language is the hardest language I've ever had to learn. Like learning the language of my body, I had no idea. No idea.
Yeah, because
When you listen, it will tell you.
we've become so out of touch with it, and this is just because of overstimulation, especially in the West. If you go around anywhere, if you're walking down one street in London, the amount of advertisements and distractions and billboards and phones and people, there's not enough time to actually hear what source has to say to you, which is why I think it's really important to spend extended periods of time either in silence or alone. If you don't have the ability to be completely alone, then put out a chunk of your day so that you just sit and you meditate, or even if it's journaling, so that you can really tap back in, or practices like sauna and ice, which allow you to feel the body again after it becoming so numb after whatever we've all experienced.
Yeah, it's again disconnect, isn't it? And yoga is this journey of harmonizing, reconnecting, whatever you know, you can use whatever words you want to call it, but it is all about bringing everything into alignment.
Yeah, and you know, another topic and another branch of this is so many people talking about, oh, you're not practicing yoga if you're eating meat because it's a himzik, or you know, if you're you can't practice yoga if you can't be a yogi if you're eating meat. And I just think it's a whole lot of bullshit, because number one, a lot of these people who are delivering this information are just reading the only textbook that they've read in their only teacher training, you know, which is the Yoga Sutras. And sorry, even I haven't read the whole Yoga Sutras back to front. It's a heavy read, but they'll stay stuck. They will literally stay stuck in the 8 limbs of yoga. Do you know how many other texts there are on yoga and on Jain and on Brahmins and on great sadhus? If you go to Varanasi, some of the great sages are literally eating the flesh of humans, you know, like, hold on a minute, is that veganism? And they're like the great yogis, you know. So I think when it comes to also in Ayurveda too, you know, they are promoting the consumption of dairy, because the use of Ayurveda and yoga, they work hand in hand. But what really peeves me is when people try and pinpoint and push their views onto others. It's like, yo, I don't care. I'm gonna love you whether you eat meat or not. I'm gonna love you whether you've got this disorder or you've got that disorder or not, because that's yoga and I see myself in you. But the minute you try and push your views onto me is the minute I'm like, yo, this is toxic and this is not healthy. So are your own fingers clean? Because pretty sure that you sending out this message about being veganism on social media, which is going viral or whatever, there's thousands of people dying in Congo just so that you can film on your smartphone. Is that a himzik, you know? And you're sat there wearing your leather jacket, or, you know, it's a lot of contradictory information.
Yes, it's everyone's on their own journey and path. Food things, it's something that I think you come across quite early on when you go down the yoga path, and there'll probably be times where you try this and you try that, and then again it will be different as you move through the practice. Pardon?
Are you vegetarian?
I'm eating less meat. I couldn't tell you the last time I ate meat. At the moment I'm not fancying it. Like, and it's not, I'm never eating meat again. I haven't like labeled anything. I'm not kind of identifying with that. It's more of a let me feel how the body feels. I feel different. Like things are shifting. I don't know. There's something in me I'm still eating eggs and dairy. But it's not strict. Like I'm not strict with it.
I literally eat every day. My meals are quite repetitive. I try and create a little bit of everything from what I've got, so that it's not boring. But every day I have to eat 2 eggs. I remember I was on Stuart's retreat one year and there was a guy
and your eggs.
There was a guy, and at the time I was vegan. It was a few years ago in Rishikesh, and I was vegan. And let's just be honest to the viewers there. And maybe this is a little bit of homework for you. There's a difference between being vegan and being plant-based. Being vegan means that you'll probably be still eating processed foods. So a lot of those corn nuggets or whatever it is, whereas being plant-based means that, you can eat more whole grain foods, but you're not eating processed foods. I'm not sure if plant-based actually includes eggs or not. I'm not sure.
Not so much.
But I was the opposite vegan. I was the processed food vegan.
Ah, you were the processed vegan. Yeah, which you're gonna feel like rubbish.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I was pretty much hardcore with my yoga practice, but my bones were clicking. I was getting back pain, sciatica. Jai Shri Ram, I've never had any severe yoga injuries, but then I met this one guy on Stuart's retreat who was like, I wouldn't say he was a tank, but he was looking after himself. And we was in a cafe, and he was just like, yeah, every day I need to eat my 2 eggs. That's my protein. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And now I have to eat 2 eggs and an avocado, 1 whole avocado. Sometimes I even eat 2 avocado. And I have seen a big difference in my body. And as we know, or some of you might not know, but B, would you say that how would you best describe your relationship with the gym and like your role there? Are you like a personal trainer?
Well, many years ago, it feels like another lifetime ago, I did actually train as a personal trainer. So I kind of came from that space. I am still training at the moment, but this is actually my last week at the gym. So I think our relationships with these things, we're coming from different spaces with it. Where I'm at the moment, I feel like, again, if I'm looking at my physical body, I have a lot of muscle, and it's almost then restricting my asana a little. So I'm trying to find the balance between being able to be fully in my asana practice and not feeling restricted from what I'm doing in the gym. And
any pain with the asana practice?
What was that? Sorry?
Any pain in your asana practice because of the muscle
restriction? I guess with the type of training that I do, I feel restricted, like in my traps and in my shoulders. And I know the two things can go together, but I think I'm now looking at my relationship with exercise. Why am I training in that way? Like, what am I actually gaining from training? I think the reason I go to the gym now is for the community.
Yeah.
I know how to move. I know how to do all of these things. I don't feel like it's adding anything physically. Like I don't need to be stronger. Like I'm very, like I have strength already. So I'm in a place where I'm going to just take a little break actually from the gym and see how that impacts how I feel and how I move and how I connect in different ways.
Interesting, especially now you're doing Stuart's teacher training too. Yeah, going deeper.
I feel like I feel restricted in my body sometimes. So I'm going to have a little, I'm experimenting with training less in that way and just seeing how that impacts how I feel. And it's difficult. I think I've relied on exercise a lot, as it was that thing that I kind of needed. So to actually get to this place in my journey where I'm like, I don't feel the need to go to the gym like I used to. It was it was control. I guess it was the dopamine, I was getting from going to the gym, and I don't have that relationship with it anymore. So there's a shift, and you can probably you can feel it.
Yeah. So like, I didn't ever think I would ever go to a gym. I was also bypassing that, like deep down, I knew, because of how intense my physical practice was. I knew at some point that I needed to have something to complement it. And I did try and go to the gym a few times in London, but I would never buy a gym membership. I was always teaching at the gym, and then they, you know, I would get access to the gym. And I remember a few times, shout out to Barnet Crew, Better Leisure Centre, the new one. Oh my God. I remember walking into there a few times and trying out some of the equipment, and I would always just end up on like the treadmill, which I have no idea why, because I'm not a runner. I did run a little bit when I was a kid. Like I would just run up the road and back. But it was a long road. It would be like a 25-minute run. But then, yeah, I'd go into this gym and I would just always end up in the corner practicing my handstands or something, because I was so intimidated by men. And that was like a personal journey I've got with men. And yeah, it was earlier on this year where my Ashtanga teacher, David, he said to me, Krissi, by the age of 33, you should start doing some sort of resistance. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to wait till I'm 33. I might not even get there, you know, who knows what's going to happen. And I asked a friend, he's doing a lot of like capoeira and all of this sort of stuff. I actually asked him, I said, do you mind taking me to the gym one time just to help me with the machines? And he kept saying, yeah, you should come. But then you know how it is. Everybody gets on their life and then you just never meet up with these friends. So I'm in Kenya and there's not much to do here other than it's a village. But weirdly, there's one random hotel in the middle of the village with a gym, and it's like £2 for the whole day. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. And because I'm the only white person, they want to help me. Like I walk in and everybody wants to help me. So the guy's been so helpful and he's, you know, shown me how to use all of the equipment. And I've gone like 3 times this week. I would say I didn't know what that dopamine rush was until like the weekend. It was the first time that I really felt like the tingling and, you know, that sensation. And afterwards, just walking home, my apple and feeling super healthy. But my goal is not to get big, and especially because I'm so small, I don't want to get big. That's what I'm fearful of, actually. And it's where, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, what do I actually need? Do I need more like a little low impact resistant? But now, like, I'm doing this, I don't even know what it's called, you know, you put it on the shoulders and I'm squatting all the way down and pushing up, you know, and this machine with the victors, you know, with the knees, and I'm like, oh, and my legs are feeling amazing. But yesterday I did do my Ashtanga, and it was the first time that I felt, you know, a little bit stiffness around my neck and like my legs were feeling heavy. However, my teacher's been giving me a specific pose to work on, and it's requiring a lot of alignment with the shoulders and the wrists, and these areas are my weak points because I am slightly hypermobile in my elbow. So when I'm trying to do the weights, for example, I'm shaking like crazy. Like it's so hard. I cannot lift the barbell up. I have to use the small little dumbbells because this is too heavy. But yesterday was the first time in a long time that I felt the alignment and I got the pose. So I felt much stronger, and it is injury preventative, but there is, again, at the back of the head, you know, where is the balance between the strength and the flexibility, and how much of the two do we need? So yeah, I'm curious to know how many times a week would you recommend somebody who's practicing yoga to go to the gym for injury prevention?
Well, I guess so. Someone like you, like you say, you're hypermobile, so building strength around joints and things is going to be beneficial for your asana practice. But let's just think, if we were to go back, you know, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, people in India practicing yoga, they wouldn't be going to the gym.
No, actually, they were.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay, you know about that. I'm thinking, how does this fit in? Like,
no. This is a large part of the piece of yoga that's missing. So a lot of the teacher like if we look at who can I give as an example? Even if we look at Krishna Macharya and like his brother, they were all using body weights. They were like doing a lot of what is it? What's this? Like martial arts. They were doing a lot of martial arts. They were doing a lot of weight training. Yeah, and even in Kerala, in Kalari, you know, are you familiar with Kalari? It's a famous martial arts, and these are the strongest warriors in the world. Like if you look at these guys, oh my gosh, if one of those became my husband, imagine. But yeah, they're so strong, but they're also super flexible.
And it's that, right? We want the functional mobility within the body.
Yeah.
Right? So long.
Yeah.
Mm.
And their trick, they're oiling their body. Yeah. Which,
Of course.
which is one of my love languages now. Like if I feel the difference, have you started to oil your body before practice?
Well, not before practice. I'll be putting, it's more like a coconutty type of oil, and it feels not. I don't do it before practice, so I'll try that today.
It's like your joints, like when you wake up, you know, they're a bit stiff and they need oiling. And then so put it on before practice and try it out for like literally 30 days. And if it doesn't make you feel good, and it will help you become more supple. I shit you. It'll take a while to understand how much to use, of course. But yeah, just try it out. And if it doesn't work for 30 days, like I'll literally give you a freebie. I'll give you a free yoga class and I'll get you stretching.
Get all your money back, you know.
Yeah. Going to oils and going back to the hair, which is a nice round off, there was two controversial topics. So my hairdresser, when I first got my locks removed, when I first got my haircut, she told me never to put oil directly on the roots because that's where your natural oil is and you need more of that. But then oils such as Brahmi oil, which stimulate nerves deeply connected to the brain and the pineal gland, and memory enhancers, like they need to be nourished straight in the scalp to get down. So there's a controversial topic there, like where should we oil? Should we oil directly on the hair? Should we oil like just on the ends? So I think it's a nice playground to have a move around with the oiling.
There's not like this is how it needs to look and it's only one way. I feel like there's many different ways and everyone is so different that what's beautiful is actually you need to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, I think, is like, what you mean? I need to know what I can't just do what you do. Like, no, you do. Like, even with the oiling, the going to the gym, like everyone's gonna benefit from different things when it comes to balance.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, balance right now is actually training a bit less with heavy barbells. Like I've done a lot in my time. Whereas for you, it's really then benefit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking maybe do I need all of this? Like, is it my ego? Because I
just watch the relationship with it because it can change as well. So I know for me, my relationship with exercise, like my relationship with food, has been very questionable at times, and it was something that I needed. If I didn't go to the gym, that would be it. So yeah, it's interesting to see the shift in how I feel when I'm there.
Yeah. I think I do want to limit myself a little bit because I'm just using the gym here because it's been accessible and there's not much else for me to do in my spare time.
It's nice to learn something new.
Yeah, it is.
Who was this? One of our Sanskrit teacher in training the other weekend. Ivan, I don't know. Would you know him? His name's Ivan. Okay. So we had a Sanskrit lesson with him. He's a Russian guy.
Okay. Is he based in London?
think so. I'll find his name. You can check him out.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I was
so
like,
he was saying, he was like, you know, as humans, we have to be willing to fail all the time, all the time.
yeah.
Like, you have to keep failing.
Mm,
You're only going to keep failing if you're trying something new.
yeah.
Different. The same, like you could see that in your asana practice. You can see that when you go to the gym. You have to be willing to fail. You have to be willing to look silly.
Yeah, and I do think everything
What you
like
do.
health is wealth,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I've got one client, Henry, who I've been teaching him for about 5 years. He was my first student, and he came to me. There was a point in our practice where I really didn't think I was pushing him. And you know, as a guide, you have to be very honest when you think that you're not the teacher for somebody anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, but he's such a sweetheart. Like, I really respect him a lot. He's never missed a class. If he misses a class, he always double books. He just does 1 hour every week. Anyway, long story short, he came to me maybe about almost a year ago, I would say, and he said, I just want to start feeling stronger. And of course, a lot of my practice then was the opposite. You know, it's like getting everybody to do the back bends and he couldn't do any of the arm balances.
Mm-hmm.
So actually doing lightweight at home workouts allowed me to understand new movements that now I'm excited to teach Henry because he's feeling it. I'm just passing my knowledge and what I've tried to him, and he's feeling, and he's doing the arm balances now. And I mean, it's not easy, but yeah, I think it's a full circle. And that's the great thing about yoga as well, is that it's not necessarily you that will feel the benefits straight away. You might not even see the benefits, but it will be the people in your community that will say, oh, wow, I've seen a big change in you. Or what's happened to you? What are you doing? You're glowing differently. And you're like, what? Really? Oh, must be the yoga. And then that's karma too. You just become a role model, and people, that's exactly how we met.
Yeah. Like, yeah, you feel, again, you connect with people's energies, and you got to trust that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I do want to limit myself in the gym a little bit. And I'm not sure how accessible, like the next month.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and I think, you know, you're going to then be in Spain, you're going to be here, you're going to be there. So if it's an addition, lovely. But again, I guess it's going to be different at different times in your life. What you need is going to be different. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we don't want to get too attached to the physical body, but also,
yeah, exactly.
You know, it's interesting, isn't it? But also, we are embodied. You know, our practice is, we are living in this body, and we are using our body to experience yoga. So is this the gym allowing me to be more connected, or is it disconnecting? So maybe
this is something that I think this is a really important thing that we can maybe leave it on and then wrap it up. But when we talk about karma, does it affect the physical body, or does it affect the soul only? What do you think?
Well, the whole thing, everything. You don't think? No. But then wouldn't I see it with this? It's kind of like with karma. Wouldn't your body be like a physical manifestation of the karmic imprints?
Simplify.
So say, like, so my physical body is a manifestation of all the energies and the things that are going on within me, all my karma and everything I hold in my body and my soul, and if everything's, so for me, it's kind of like the physical body represents the inner world.
I mean, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer.
I don't think there is. Do you know what I love about yoga? There's no right or wrong. There is just like, you can do things like, well, how does it sound from your experience?
And this was just a phone conversation that I was having with my friend last week back in London. And they were saying the physical body is left behind. It doesn't go to the next life.
Right.
which
Yeah.
literally when they said it, I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, why did I not think of that before?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I said, well, what about, for example, if we choose to take substances,
Mhm.
or, you know, you, yeah, substances is probably the easiest one. I said, what about substances? Because don't they affect the physical body?
Mhm.
And they said, well, the substances ultimately will alter your sense of, or alter your perception of consciousness, or alter your consciousness. And it's your consciousness that holds the karmic imprint, which is your soul.
Yeah.
And then it's the soul that is going to be carried on to the afterlife. So actually, the physical body, it's the soul that gets harmed.
Mhm.
It's not the physical body, because the physical body is doing the same thing on everybody else. It's
Mhm.
we might look different, but when in the Bible, you know, God came down and he reincarnated into Jesus, or he came into Jesus, and he created every single person as the best possible form of himself.
Mm.
Like, we are all made as identical to Jesus as possible, whether we have the ability to be chosen or not to do the work and really, okay, abide by the laws of God. Ultimately, it's the soul that will be passed on, so the physical body will be left behind.
Mhm.
So the answer is, for the viewers, do you think karma affects the physical body, or do you think it affects the soul, or do you think it affects all of it? It's an interesting one.
Yeah. Can it affect? But again, you know, this physical body that we're in now is the one that we're in now.
Mm.
I mean,
I mean,
these conversations I love, because it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, if you actually think about it, right, the body is kind of irrelevant, but the soul needs somewhere nice to live while it's here.
mm.
Yoga is about
Vedas.
purification, right? If we are purifying the body to allow for this spiritual, you know, liberation, this journey that we're on, in purifying the body, the body is going to probably change physically.
Yes.
But again, you can connect it to karma or not. I guess it's almost like a byproduct of what yoga is, because yoga is it's a spiritual practice. It's not about the body.
And when we study the koshas and the sheaths, and we're looking at exactly how you're explaining it, you know, we're cleansing. So from the mind all the way down into the soul, like, that sets us free. It's the physical body that is trapping the soul from our, you know, because of the attachments.
Yeah.
So the more we do that work, then the more we can set ourselves free. But again, the physical body in the Vedas, they just say it's a taxi driver. You know, it's just a taxi. When you die, and it's like the taxi rocks up at, say you rock up at the wrong airport, and you're like, hold on a minute, yo, dude, I'm not here yet. And the taxi driver goes, no, get out. You know, like, this is you only paid your fare till here. What does the body do? Like, it just has to find another taxi. So the soul will just reincarnate into something else. It will find another taxi, and then will that taxi, it won't be the same body. So again, that karma, why do we not remember karma from a past life?
Isn't it funny how, like, again, I think just humans in general in the West, we're so attached to these physical bodies, because again, that's a story for another episode, because we can definitely like deep into that. I mean, yeah.
So conversations on, what did we cover? We covered a lot about food and nutrition and relationship with the gym, oiling. How did Guru talk about the Guru and the relationship? Wow. I just always love, because sometimes I'm about, you know, when I love this new thing that we're starting. Me and B, we're going to do regular chat and chais on the podcast, and maybe we can invite some of you on and see what comes up. But yeah, always before a call, sometimes I'm like, oh, what am I going to think about? Or, you know, what we're going to talk about. But when you're connected with somebody,
Like, again, it's like, I'm not one of those, I don't plan a class, I don't plan a call as such. It's more of a, let's just connect and see, and there's no right or wrong with any of it. So
Mm,
Yes.
no,
Again, what we're talking about now could be different tomorrow.
yeah. I'm
So
excited to see what next.
nothing is, everything we've said here is that what we've learned from our teachers and from our experiences, and we're very much open that could change next week. So,
Yeah.
this is how we have experienced things now. But again, we're open for things to be different.
Yeah, for sure. And that is yoga, because yoga opens the mind. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm gonna round up our recording.
yes,
Yeah.
you've got homework. You've got to ask Stuart, does the soul, ask him what he thinks. Ask him what his opinion. Don't talk to him whatever about veganism.
No, we want to know about the body and the karma.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it
Ask,
and end up the recording, and we'll see everyone again another time.
yeah, see you guys. Thanks for listening. Lots of love. Ciao.